Age, location, and occupation. Go ahead.
Jasmine, 26, Thousand Oaks, California, and I'm a stay-at-home girlfriend.
Okay. And ex what, though?
Oh, yeah. I used to be a stripper and scammer.
Stripper and scammer.
Yeah.
Okay. What's a scammer?
Well, I just feel like when, because stripping is like part of this work, and so when you're like scamming people, you're just telling them, you're going to get something that you're not going to get. Because I wouldn't bring down my like self morals. I mean, obviously I didn't have the best morals at that time, but I wouldn't bring down my morals lower to get money. I would just rather lie to them.
So what would you lie about?
I honestly wouldn't ever say anything because when you work in a strip club, you can't say you're going to do explicit things. I would just kind of either like agree with whatever they were asking or just, like, yeah, we're going to have fun. Like, I wouldn't.
So what's the scam though?
They would think they were going to have sex or like sexual interactions with me that just weren't going to happen. So, because that's like why most men go to strip clubs.
So they would.
Yeah. So there's this is often the case. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but many strippers engage in backroom prostitution. Is that correct?
1,000% correct. Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000% correct. And there is coded language which is used between the club goers and the strippers. And I'm sure that you knew what that coded language was, right? And so when they would use the coded language, you would take them back, and then that's when you would just not deliver.
Pretty much. There honestly, a lot of like regular customers don't have a coded language. They just blatantly say like, I want this. Like, are you going to perform this? My managers knew that I would lie because they didn't care. I would make a lot of money for the club and for myself. So sometimes if they didn't like customers, they've given them hard times, they'd send them my way and let me scam them.
And so, but I imagine, so the customers would give you money with expectation of X.
So they'd pay the club, like whatever the dance was to get like the private room. And then when we'd go in, I'd ask for my tip first, and then I would figure out how to entertain them for 15 minutes without doing what they want, or anything really.
But would they ever overtly request?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they try.
And you would agree?
No.
Oh.
I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't do anything.
So, but what's the scam then?
That I'm getting their money for not doing anything they want. They are getting scammed into believing that they're going to get something met. They're paying for something that they're not
they
getting.
say, I want a BJ.
Yeah, and I'm just like, we're going to go back there and have fun. And it wouldn't happen.
So when you took them to the back room and they were under the impression that they were going to, let's say in this case, get a blowjob, let's say, did they pay you up front for what they thought would be this favor?
Yeah, pretty much. They would give me my tip, and then I would just like not do anything.
And how much would you charge them for these favors they thought they were going to get?
I honestly didn't charge. I would just like, if it looked like someone that was going to be difficult, I'd ask for like more. They usually had like something that they'd offer like $200. Like some girls are in there doing stuff for like $50. So you have to like really be, and it's usually those customers that would be aggressive. Like I've had customers push me into walls. Because again, like they do get mad. They go to like the manager and complain, and at the end of the day, there's really nothing that they can do if I just hold my story. Like I didn't agree to anything. I just said we're gonna have fun.
But I mean, you seem to acknowledge yourself that there's a scam component here.
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna scam myself out of my own morals and like dignity of giving a stranger a blowjob or sexual favors.
So, okay. Was there, aside from like what you were doing in the strip club, was there any other sort of scamming stuff?
Yeah, I had a fake fiance for like 2 years. I met him at the strip club.
How did that play out?
I worked at like a bigger club in LA, which is like it's a like topless bar. So they serve alcohol and they have like sell sections and stuff. I met him there, and he invited me to a Dodger game, so I said sure, and then we went on another date, and then from there on, he just He knew he wasn't going to get sex out of me because I was at the time abstinent. And so he just started spending a bunch of money thinking that he was going to get eventually sex out of me. And then he proposed to me on like the third.
Bigoted Ben donated $69. Q4 panel, what does dismantling whiteness mean to you and how important is it?
Well, I mean,
We're still in introductions. Maybe we'll get back to this one, Bigoted Ben.
yeah, we'll have to save it for later. So wait, the fake fiance, so is he just like giving you money and stuff?
Yeah, he was paying my rent. We would go out all the time, go shopping, pretty much like anything I asked for money-wise, I would make sure that like he gave it to me. Or sometimes even like I would send it to myself from his phone, and he had no real problem with that.
Okay. And so how much a month do you think he was spending on you?
Willingly, he was paying like $5,000 of my bills when I would just pay myself at that time. I was probably making like 15-ish, like 12 to 15 from doing that.
From scamming in total, like other dudes too? Or?
No, just him. Like just from him, I would probably send myself like around 10,000 like a month.
Wait, you said willingly.
Willingly, he was sending me my rent, my bills
What
were
was
paid.
he sending you unwillingly?
Like we would go out and I would send myself money from his phone, and at the end of the day he wouldn't care. He'd be like, okay, like just make sure you spend it on something you like need to pay for.
But he knew that you were doing this?
Most of the time he was like drunk.
So you'd open up his phone, go into your Venmo, Cash App,
Apple Pay.
and you would just send yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was at a really low place in this time in life.
You were in a low place?
Yeah.
And wait, so how old was this guy?
52.
Okay, how old were you?
I met him when I was 23.
Okay.
So I
Do you,
stopped talking to him probably like a little bit earlier this year.
but you've now become a Christian?
I've been a Christian for a while. I was just like super lukewarm because I was like dancing and trying to survive. So my means of like taking money from him was like I don't have to be at the strip club and deal with all of that. So yeah.
And so, but now you're a bit more serious about your faith, or?
Well, I got baptized last year, and it's not more about being serious. I think it's just the fact that not everyone is going to come to God. Like, it's not easy to just leave that lifestyle behind. Because I started dancing when I was 20. So it's like you have to realize, like, that's like a long time of being involved in that lifestyle and getting used to it. The fast money is like something really hard to let go of.
And wait, so, but now, do you regret some of the scamming?
I feel bad for what I did to him, particularly because I probably took over like $250,000 from him in the time that I was with him. Like he paid for me to get plastic surgery, like my breast done, liposuction, and I wish I never got those procedures. He also got me a car in his name. Like, yeah, I regret what I did to him personally, but at the same time, like, I was in a place where I was being very selfish. And I don't regret it because I've learned that, like, a lot of those trials, like, I feel like God was bringing me through to be where I am now, to understand girls that were in my position or currently in it.
Just to be clear, God was bringing you through the liposuction and fake breasts and the...
That was a me thing. That wasn't God. God didn't tell me to do that. It was more of like a me thing because I was insecure.
And so any of this money that you accrued from him, have you returned
It's gone.
anything?
It's gone. Fast money leaves you faster than it comes.
Right, but I mean, you look, you say some of the money he willingly gave you.
No, he didn't get anything back.
Huh?
He didn't get anything.
Right, but perhaps that might not necessarily be so subject to return, but I mean, the money that you essentially stole from him, where you said you'd go into his phone, Apple Pay, whatever, you spent that money, but you did take it from him. So, for example, if you were to come into money of your own, would you consider giving him back some money?
When we like ended whatever the relationship was, he still was trying to give me money to like stick around.
God donated $69. Whoa. Don't blame me for this.
Okay. Do you have a response to God?
What do you mean?
That guy?
Don't blame me for that. Ugh. No, that's not God.
Okay. You said towards the end of your relationship, he was still trying to give you money?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, putting that aside, even granting you that the money that he was willingly trying to give you was fine, you did admit to taking money from him unwillingly.
Yeah, and he knows that.
Huh?
He knows that. Like he realized everything like towards the end, and he was still like, I want you to be in my life. I want to get married.
So,
Metro Mac donated $69. What liposuction? It appears you don't just lie about your body count.
I didn't even talk about my body count.
okay. Thank you, Matt.